Hi everyone, my name is Cassie and welcome to my channel Bookish 4 Eyes. Today I'm doing a book review of a book called Her Pretty Face by Robyn and if you've seen any of my videos recently, you may have seen me talking about this book and being really excited for it. So today is the day that it's out, so you can probably get it from your library and you can also probably purchase it, so that's pretty exciting. I read it last week, so I've had some time to kind of digest and think about it, so let's get right into the review. So I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars, so it was like a middle of the pack kind of thriller. It wasn't the best book I read this year, but definitely wasn't the worst. So it's a decent read and I enjoyed it because it was a quick read. So I never felt bored or tired of it, and that's very important for me whenever I'm reading a book. I never want to be like struggling through it. If it's flowing and maybe nothing crazy is happening, but it still flows and I'm kind of into it, then I genuinely enjoy those books more than the books where I'm like constantly checking how many pages I have left to read. So I didn't have a problem like that here. The synopsis of this book is basically there's Frances, who's a stay-at-home mom. Her son Marcus has been accepted into like a fancier school, like a private school I guess, and her husband are really excited that their son was able to get into that school. However, the problem that she has is all the mothers who take their kids to that school are pretty mean and judgmental, and she has a hard time making friends with anybody. That is until there is another mom whose name is Kate, who befriends Frances and is nice to her and actually wants to hang out, which Frances didn't expect, and obviously she really enjoys that friendship and she likes having people to hang out with. So they form a bond and they start hanging out more, and Frances really enjoys having a friend. Unfortunately, there is a twist, or fortunately I should say, because one of these two women, either Frances or Kate, is actually a murderer. And going into the book you don't know who it is, and then throughout the book you're also not sure who it is, and then eventually you figure out who it is. So you get to know the women a little bit better. This book is told from multiple points of view, which I really enjoy whenever it comes to thrillers because you get a better sense of different people and what they're all about and what's actually happening in the story, so that was really good. I guess to start with the positives, I just like the flow of this book. I thought the premise of not really knowing who knowing that there is one of these women is a killer but not really knowing which one was really exciting for me, and I genuinely was interested in this book because of that factor. I was just curious to know who it was, and I wanted to see if I'd be able to like pinpoint who it was. And for a while I have to say I didn't know which one of these women it was because the way things were going it seemed like either one of them could have done it. So that was well done, I thought, and overall it was a decent read. I'd say it's middle of the pack book for me, along with some of the other thrillers I read this year, like The Perfect Mother and books like that. I can't even remember what they were, but similar to that, just, you know, a good read, kept me entertained while I was reading them, but then after I read them, they probably didn't pack as big of a punch as I would have liked. Onto the negatives, I think my biggest negative with this book is how much like negative body image things there were in it. Frances is, I guess from the description, is like a bit overweight. She's not happy with her body. She feels self-conscious, and she always compares herself to these other women who are more fit. They're really thin, and she just is not happy with the way that she looks, and she just constantly compares herself and keeps thinking that she's not good enough and that she is somehow worse than these women because she doesn't look as good as they do, basically. And to me that felt shallow, but also I don't know, I feel like it shouldn't be as important, and I don't know, it just made me a little bit annoyed just because I don't enjoy when books fixate on looks and appearance that much. So that was a negative for me. Another thing that I have to confess is that I didn't really love any of the characters. Like at first I was like, alright, they're not so bad. But then as the farther into the book it got, the more annoyed and like a little bit tired of certain people I got. So if I had to say, oh, who's my favorite character, I don't even know. It was like that. They were all doing something questionable, or, you know, they all had something sketchy in their past, or they just like were kind of annoying at times. So I didn't love any of the characters in particular, but they didn't make me dislike this book. So it might be just one of those reads where you hate everyone, but the book moves along nicely, so you're enjoying the ride. So I guess that's it for my review of this book. 3 out of 5 stars. Decent read if you're just looking for like a summertime thriller read, but it's not like a crazy thriller. Maybe this would be it. There's also some unpleasant, potentially triggering things in here relating to some crimes committed. So I guess you might want to be aware of that. Otherwise, decent read. I wasn't disappointed, but I wasn't blown away either. So very middle of the pack. So that's it for my review. Please let me know if you've read this book, and also please let me know if you're looking to pick it up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.